Welcome back, everybody. My name is Carbon Fiber K9. I know that I have taken a small hiatus, but I am back-ish. Y'all gonna see a lot of content. I got some big things coming. Shout out to Reaper Apparel. Shout out to Raze, and shout out to Flamin' Beard. Those are all of the main people that I have affiliateships with, and you guys can get a coupon code. That kind of stuff will be down in the description. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, share it everywhere. Friends, family, anyone you think would like it. Doesn't matter. You may not get anything out of it, but they might. But without further ado, we are going to get right into Diablo 4. So, alright, so this is my seasonal character, and I've been working real hard on it. As you can see, I also have my main Eternal character. Yeah, the two look very, very close. Um, then I have my Eternal Druid, and I have my Eternal Sorcerer. Well, the Sorcerer has been nerfed into the ground with one of the recent updates, but they are changing it and bringing the Sorcerer back up to par. They're bringing the Druid way up to par. The Necromancer's getting a small buff because Necromancer didn't really get much nerfs, but they are bringing some nerfs into the Necromancer, which is going to make the Necromancer a fucking monster. Um, but you guys aren't here for a Necromancer, not today. You guys are here for the Sorcerer. And while the Sorcerer, yes, has been nerfed into the ground, I still think with our on paper versus in the field strategy is still going to be viable even with the nerfs. Because if it was, they didn't really mess with the skills too much. They mainly messed with like stats. I mean, they did nerf some of the skills. I won't lie. They did nerf some of the skills, but it's not as bad as it seems. Like it is, but it isn't. And I don't want to play both sides of the fence, but as a content creator, I'm going to play both sides of the fence. I'm going to tell you what's good, I'm going to tell you what's bad, and how I feel about it, and where I think that they could go further from here. So today, we're going to work on. That was a weird feeling. We're going to work on the Sorcerer. And the Sorcerer, with popularity and everything, the Druid would be the better option, but I have already done episode 3 for it, so naturally the next in line is the Sorcerer, and then the Necro, and then the Rogue, and then the Barbarian, which Barbarian also got nerfed into the ground, but I'm really liking that Barbarian. I mean, I got him looking fucking nice. I feel like I worked a little too hard on him. And fucking Druid's the same way. Druid looks fucking nice. The Sorcerer looks good. The Necromancer definitely looks the part. The Rogue definitely looks the part. I mean, just all the way around the board, I really did do a lot of, hey, this is the class, this is what I feel like it should look like. And I feel like I nailed the mark. But as we are about to be 5 minutes in, let's go ahead and start this queue in just in case. Okay. Say just in case we happen to get caught up and, get a little behind with it all. So, how y'all been? I know it's been a while, and I know you guys can't answer me right now, but you guys can hit me up in the comments. How y'all been? What y'all been doing? I haven't been streaming, so if you come here from my stream, you're not gonna see me on stream. I am hoping to make a return to streaming. I've just been really busy with work and everything, and my work's just gotta come first. Ah, I remember. I remember. Okay. Yep, yep, yep. I remember. So, yep, so the on paper and in the field, it still works. That definitely still works. All right, so let's try out. Yep, so it's definitely still working. The build that I have right now is still working. I know I had said in the previous video that I was going to wait to use the skill points, but knowing that a lot of us really have already gone through the story, not everyone, because I mean I'm just like most of you guys where God, fog. That fog quality is looking messed up right there. Oh, it made it worse. See if I do that, if it makes it any better. What else do I have lowered? Particles. Let's go with high. I don't want reflection or distortion. Save changes. No. That's so. See, it looks fine when I'm walking, but as soon as I start staying still, it's like it messes up. Anyways, so I know I said that I was going to wait to use all of my points, but I feel like it would be a smart idea to actually just use the points and show you guys what's what, because a lot of you that are still playing, because I know a lot of you have backed off of Diablo but you're still watching content. Laura, shut up. I'm trying to talk here, all right? Listen. Listen, Linda. That's what I thought. I know a lot of you have backed off playing, but you're still watching content, and I know a lot of you are still playing, and I appreciate you guys stopping in and looking at my video of all people. I mean, I'm a nobody, but it really does mean a lot. So I know I did say that I was going to wait to use these skill points, but I feel like for the sake of learning what's what, we should definitely look at it. Well, Flame Shield is active, you are immune, and that engulf yourself in flames for 2 seconds, so you get 2-second immunity. Burning surrounding enemies for 18 damage per second, which is not a lot, okay? Teleport, transform into lightning, becoming unstoppable and surging to the target location. Yep, that's not a lot. Barrier of ice forms around you for 6 seconds, absorbing 30% of your base life and damage. While ice armor is active, 5% of your damage dealt is added to its barrier. And then Frost Nova, a torrent of frost freezing enemies around you for 3 seconds. See, so what I'm getting off of that is that the Frost Nova really is going to end up being the best out of all three of these. See, while the teleport does seem nice, and all of that, because the teleport will give crackling energy, I do have something to discuss later whenever we get to that, which may be episode 4, maybe episode 5, I don't know. But um yeah, no, Frost Nova. So enhance Frost Nova, and let's look. Mystical makes enemies vulnerable. 4 mana per hit. How much does that cost? It has no cost. Okay. And how much does this cost? 30. Now I want vulnerability. See, because with vulnerable and that arc lash, especially with how I have it set up, that vulnerability would actually help me melt things a whole lot faster. And I feel like it could really be useful. What is this glass cannon? Take 3% more damage. Eesh. Yeah, we're gonna go with the vulnerable Frost Nova. Okay, so then we're gonna come back over here and we are gonna add 1 point there, and we're gonna add 1 point into our arc lash, and then we're gonna get our hydras, because the hydras are important. The ice blades are good. Lightning spear, it's okay, but I definitely would not use lightning spear. Um, so Frost Nova is what I'm going with. Is what I'm going to be going with. If it works, that's great. Um, I know I was going through and trying every single skill, but I just don't see the need to try out the defensive skills. And if you guys want to, let me know in the comments, and I'll do it in the next episode. Because I'm only going to do one episode today for Sorcerer, Necro, Rogue, and Barbarian, since Druid already has episode 3. And I'm going to get all 4 of those out of the way, and then I have to get started on some V Rising content, because the last episode just went up this past Friday on the 28th? 27th? Let's see. Today's 30th. 29, 28th. On the 28th of July. 28th of July was the last episode of V Rising. So, yeah, if you guys feel like seeing me use all the defensive skills and how they can play into a build, let me know. And I will for sure let you guys know my take on that. And then as for these and ultimates. See, now, the Inferno does seem like a very viable skill, but so does Firewall. See, the Mastery ones, I will... Excuse me. Had fun night last night, and then we went to the dog park this morning. The pupper is all tired out. I will be going through all the mastery skills and using them. I will not use Lightning Spear because I honestly cannot fucking stand it. But the reason why the Ice Blades are good, especially if you're looking for a low mana output build, the only thing that uses mana right now is your Ice Shards, right? Your Arc Lash generates mana, Ice Shards take away mana, and then you have Frost Nova that doesn't use mana. You got the Hydras that use mana, but you use that once, and then it's up for, who knows how long. But the Ice Blades are perfect for a low output mana build with still maintaining a good bit of damage. I mean, if you look at the Hydras, it says 3-headed Hydra for 10 seconds. Each head spits fire at enemies, dealing 5 to 6 damage, maximum 1 active Hydra at a time. So there's 3 heads, and let's say each of them deal 5 damage. That's 15 damage. Now, overall, it's a whole lot more damage because they don't attack per second, but they don't attack just once in that 10-second period. So then there's also this, while healthy, cast a Hydra, gain 1 additional head. So now instead of a 3-headed Hydra, now it's a 4-headed Hydra, making the base damage of it for all of them attacking once at 20. To further that even more, you also add the burn for additional over 6 seconds, which is where the Hydras really come in clutch on helping you dish it out. And I mean dish it out. So we're also going to be running Ice Blades, and we're not going to be running an ultimate. That is where my mind's going right now, and this is mainly to help you seasonal characters get a you people who are playing sorcerers on seasonal, and I know I'm late to the start of the season, but for those of you who do want to start up a sorcerer and you're coming back because of the season or you're coming back because of the updates, I do hope that you stumble across this video and take the time to watch and see how all of this works. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to move those ice blades to R2. And the reason for that is because if R1 is Hydras, R2 will be ice blades, which means that I don't even have to touch those after I press them once. So a good example will be over here, right? Hydras, ice blades, summon them, and they basically took everything out. All I did was take out the shaman and one little enemy. They took out 4 in the time it took me to take out 2. So, and I'm right back at full mana. I mean, let's see, where's my max? Whoop, 100. And I have 10 mana per second as a passive mana regen. So even if I was low on mana, I get it right back. Let me make sure that's not a that's not something special, and that is actually the sorcerer now. Yeah, okay. So let me just double check. I don't wanna I don't wanna be talking out my ass here. Screw the poison resistance. Resistances have been broken, and until they fix it, it's not viable, and it's not going to be viable. I mean, they really need to work on it, and until they have the chance to work on it and get it to where it needs to be, resistances are futile. Resistance is futile. So Hydra's Ice Blades run up here, Ice Blade, boom. And it's so fast on that takeout. And look at the mana. Damn. Immediate full after battle. That is sweet. Alright, so before we go up to Gilveshev, we're going to do what I do normally like to do when I'm testing things out. We're going to come down here and actually test it. Yeah, come on. Bring it on, bitches. See, so the Ice Blades have a cooldown. So they don't use much mana, but they do have a cooldown. Or they don't use any mana, but they do have a cooldown. Which is fine, because after they show up, bingo. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Bingo. And we got the mastery. Heck yeah. Bingo. Use a potion, pick a potion up. Don't need to use another potion. And we got another skill point to go with that. So now we can do each time it hits a vulnerable enemy. See, and now Now that makes it a whole lot more viable. See, because that's a half second each time hits a vulnerable enemy, alright? And if the cooldown's 15.76, and Frost Nova freezes enemies for 3 seconds, right? But it makes them vulnerable for 4 seconds, 6 seconds against bosses. And each time it hits a vulnerable enemy, it's by 0.5. And it's active for 6 seconds. And have a chance to make enemies vulnerable itself. Wait, per active ice blade? What? Whoa, hold on a minute. Per active ice blade. What does that mean? I can summon more than one? Oh. Now you're really making me wonder. Alright, so what we have accomplished so far is that the Sorcerer is still broken as far as on paper and in the field. We may have already got that update that No, I don't think we did. Well, we may have. I need to go check the patch notes. I think we are on 1.1.1.0C. I think is what it is. If not, it's 110C. If not, if it's not 1110C, it's 110C, which is 2 patches after their major nerf where they just took everything into the ground. So let's at least get here into the gatehouse and get it taken care of first. Let's get into the city. Okay, so as a sorcerer, yeah, sorcerers are pretty bright. Wonder if it's anything. No, doesn't say anything. Okay. Alright, so we have actually made it inside the city and unlocking waypoints. Yep. Got the waypoint. Come in here to this guy. Polearm, amulet. I wonder if that changes the story later on. If you like don't get his thing back to him, his Herodrum pin or amulet, whatever you want to call it. I wonder if that makes a difference. Alright, let's get up here and talk to this lady. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, motherfucker, I'm still hot. That song is stuck in my head. Ugh. Potion. I don't know how I lost some health, but it did. Ooh. All stats +3 instead of 6 strength. I'll take it. Ooh, helmet. And travel to Yelesna. Ta-da! Yeah. So let's at least get to Yelesna, and then that's where I'll end the episode. See, because what I'm thinking is, by the time I reach level 25, I should have all the skills I need, and it'll just be maxing them out and then going for the passives and all that other stuff. Yeah, Hydras are a whole lot better than the Ice Blades. I might be able to get rid of those later. Looking for Vigo. Dang. Alright, let's go ahead and hit this. That way we have the fast travel point. And that is where I will end it, guys. So, we figured out that the Ice Blades, well, yes, are decent. They can be useful if you're looking for a low mana output with something to help you fight. If their duration, I feel like their duration should be 8 seconds and have a 10-second cooldown after they despawn. That would be perfectly balanced to me, because then you have to wait for an entire duration plus 2 seconds, and then the thing is that if we really look at it, the fact that its cooldown is reduced by half a second each time it hits a vulnerable enemy. That is dependent on the fact that you are making an enemy vulnerable. Now, granted, it also has its own chance to make enemies vulnerable. That's less than half a chance. And you only have half a second that it gets taken off. So I think they should last for 8 seconds. And then the cooldown should be 10 seconds after it despawns. Which realistically is 10 seconds after they despawn. Because it's 15.76. So if you were to make it 8 seconds long, the cooldown should be 18 seconds. Because 6 seconds, it gets maybe 3, 4 hits, It only took 2 seconds off. Let me put it that way. It only took 2 seconds off when you normally cast it to for the cooldown when they finally run out and you're looking at the cooldown. There was about 8 seconds left after after I cast them and it didn't attack anything. There was 8 seconds left, and then when I summoned them while they were, while I was fighting, that's when I did the Hydras just back then. It only took it down to a 6. Like, granted, there wasn't, too many enemies, but there was still enemies alive after it died or after it despawned, and it only dropped the cooldown to 6. So if we take 8 minus 6, everyone should be able to do that math. That's 2 seconds, which means it only got 4 hits in those 6 seconds that it was alive. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is I feel like increased attack speed may help it to further this, but that says per active Ice Blade. And as far as I'm concerned right now, I can only have one. I don't know if maybe maybe it goes up. I don't know if the duration goes up. I know the damage is going to go up, but I don't know throughout all these ranks if that's going to go up anymore, the duration. I know the damage will go up. The 40% chance may stay the same until rank 5, and then the 40 may go to a 50. And the vulnerability may stay at 2 the entire time. But Ice Blades, while they seem vulnerable right now, do not seem wise enough to use consistently. And I just can't see myself actually using it. Now, Conjuration Mastery might be good because it's 1% multiplicative for each active conjuration, and that's 1 conjuration, 2 conjuration, 3 conjuration. But again, that 1 conjuration has 4 heads. This 1 conjuration has a pair of Ice Blades, which I guess is 2 because it says pair, so it should be 2 Ice Blades. So that's 2, 1, and that's a Spear of Lightning, which is 1. So 1 and 1 is 2, and 2 plus 2 is 4. So in actuality, I mean, it just the Ice Blades don't seem viable enough unless you're running a full Conjuration build, and that Conjuration build, from what I have seen and what I have heard, is not the best. The Hydra is literally the number one thing, which is why even Ice Mages use the Hydra. Because the Ice Blades just aren't viable enough. I mean, damage, 9 to 11, and they're there for 6 seconds. They may get 4 hits. Like I said, 4 hits. There was 4 enemies. They got 4 hits, and they only killed 2 enemies. So if we're really gonna break this down math wise, just thinking outside the box here, uh, 4 hits with vulnerability. Let me put it that way. 4 hits with vulnerability to take off 2 seconds of um cooldown. Jesus, my brain is all scattered, right? So let's just say, let's take those 4 hits. Let's say they only had 4 hits, right? And let's say that it hit for the higher portion, 11. That's 44 damage. Now these right here, there's 4 heads. 3-headed Hydra, but I gain 1 extra Hydra head with that. And then it also gets an additional 12% of base damage as burning damage. So 4 heads at 5 damage each. Let's say, on the low end. That's 20 damage. And it just keeps cycling, is what it looks like. Out of all 4 heads, it cycles. So yeah, I'd have to say you take. It basically is when one attack a second. Because if you think about it and how it cycles and how they just consistently throw a fireball from the Hydra's mouth, what I'm looking at is 4 heads, 10 seconds with 5 damage each. Well, you take 5 and you times it by 10, that's 50. That's on the low end. But that's also not counting the burn damage that it gets, which is going to put in at least 1 damage. So you add 1 damage to each of them. So now you have to add another 10 damage. So 50, that makes it 60. And that's all on the low end. If you put it on the high end, it's 70. And that's just right now. That's not counting, you know, when I level it up. Or if I get other things that help push this up because it is fire damage. So the Hydras really are where it is at. But I think it's safe to say Ice Blades, while yes, are nice, they are not in the field viable. Valuable. But without further ado, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. My name is Carbon Fiber Canine. I appreciate you guys stopping by. And as always, please like, share with everybody, all your friends, family. Please subscribe. It really helps me and the channel out. It lets me know that you want to see more of this type of content where I'm breaking down the entire class and actually testing out the skills to see if they actually work. In the next episode, I will be covering that lightning spear because I do see how the ice blades could be useful on paper, and I see how the lightning spear may be useful on paper, and I just need to put that notion in my head that I may be missing out on a crucial part of a sorcerer build by not testing out that lightning spear. So next episode, we will be testing out that lightning spear. But without further ado, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. My name is Carbon Fiber Canine, and goodbye!